want to build something to the sky. Now, let's go to 1 Chronicles 22, 5. 1 Chronicles 22, 5. David said, "My son Solomon is young and inexperienced, and the house to be built for the Lord should be of great magnificence and fame and splendor in the sight of all the nations." The house that they are going to build, it says that it should be of what? Great magnificence, fame, splendor in the sight of the nations. Now, I like the last line. Let's read the last line together if you can. "Therefore, I will make preparation for it." In the city, we are talking about quality. The service must be quality. So the pastor must make great preparation for it. The seating arrangement, the chairs that people sit on. When Queen Sheba went to Solomon and he saw the sitting of his officials, even the place they ate from, the golden spoons and the arrangement, the queen said, "You are far exceeded what I have heard about you. Your wisdom is great." Here we need great wisdom to manage city churches. I'm not saying that we don't need saying for the rural, but here we are talking about quality and bigness. Are we together? Fine. Harmony versus conflict. Harmony versus conflict. Genesis 19 verse 4. Before they had gone to bed, all the men from every part of the city of Sodom, of what? The city of Sodom, both young and old, surrounded the house. Now you know the story. But men, homosexuals, they are not plenty in the rural areas. If the chief of your village tends to know that somebody is homosexual, sometimes they even ban the person from there. But in the cities, they are Canaanites hiding. Yeah. City people realize there is no single well-defined social order. The city is a melting pot containing more than one of such values, more than one culture. In the city, it is more than one culture. It is a place where values and cultures merge. You remember the video that we showed you, the one the lady was knocked down by the vehicle. You see that this usher, she will look at your dress, and then if the dress is like what they used to wear, says, "Oh, brother, you are welcome. Sister, you are welcome." And then this girl came, city girl. Where do you think you are going? Now, that is where the conflict is. In the city, people will come to your church dressed like the lady. Don't say, "Where do you think you are going?" Manage the conflict. We manage the conflict. Manage the conflict. We have to learn to dwell together. Because people will come to church like that. With tattered jeans, what do? Do you sack them? You have to manage the conflict. Let them come in, and little by little help people like this to become like Christ. Have I communicated? In the city, we must learn to manage conflict, not eliminating conflict or escalating tension. You can't eliminate conflict in the city. So don't escalate tension. Don't be using remarks that will create tension. Please, try and live with the difference, the different things that you see. Now, we also have established versus mobile. In the rural settings, mostly things are established. But in the cities, there is a lot of mobility. Acts chapter 8, from verse 27. Acts 8:27. So he started out, and on his way, he met an Ethiopian eunuch, an important official in charge of all the treasury of the Kandake, which means queen of the Ethiopians. This man had gone to Jerusalem to worship, and on his way home was sitting in his chariot reading the book of Isaiah. All that distance to Jerusalem from Ethiopia if he didn't have a chariot. So he drove in his chariot to Jerusalem, and he's coming back in his chariot. Now, in the rural setting, one does not need to travel extensively or often except under special circumstances. So the church is just close by his house. They walk to church. In the city, however, mobility is the way of life. Perhaps in the city will continue, people in the city will continue to pass several churches until they get to the one they want to attend. And so when even you are in Accra and your district is somewhere beyond downtown, getting to Bogyasi, that's where your district is. And then somebody who worships in Kanishi has built his house close by your chapel. Don't go to this member and say that, see, you are suffering too much. All this fuel that you are wasting in the city, people don't care. Because on Monday, they are going to leave that house and go to Accra Central anyway. So if they are going to Kaneshi, it's halfway. And then they do that all week. So adding the Sunday is not a burden to people in the city. Have I communicated? Why? And most often that, because it is also because there is mobility. At least there's transport. If he doesn't have a vehicle on his own, there is some government transport or transportation is available. They can move and come back. And so we have established against mobile. Chances are that there is improved public transport for those in the city and those who do not even have vehicles. City churches need leaders who think as city people. And this is my last point. And this is my conclusion. This one, listening to me well. I went to a certain church. And then, in the city, then the pastor, whilst the service has started, he said, okay, those of you who are joining us for the first time, the toilet is here. And the washrooms are here. If you go out and you pass here, I say, oh, this is rural. Now, you don't do that in the city. Let the ushers direct where the washrooms are. You don't use the lecterns. Don't stand behind the lectern and be directing people where they have to go to the toilet. No. So the city church needs people who are city leaders. Don't just pick anybody because the person can pray and shout. No. Find people who understand city life so that they will be able to lead the church well. You see, in the cities are leaders. And leaders hate to follow people who are not leaders. And so please, let's pay attention to this one. Yesterday, I said that when Barnabas went to Antioch and he saw the grace of God, he went to fetch Paul because he knows that this man will be able to handle the church in Antioch. So let's look for people who will be able to handle the church well. Urban church that is in tune with its environment will be accustomed to change, diversity, bigness, and mobility. Leaders of the city church should not maintain the rural values of the status quo, sameness, smallness, and inertia in the churches. Or perhaps they really do not want these rural values, but because they have been in the city for so long, many think that, because they have been in the church for so long, many think that they must somehow be scriptural and, for that matter, spiritual. So they hold on to it. When we dominate city churches with rural values, the churches will not grow. And we will be losing especially our young people. They will not fight you, but they will live quietly. And no amount of words can keep young people when they think that they are not comfortable with what you are doing. So city churches need city leaders. Now, so when we are locating a church in the city, locate it properly. Pitch it at a place where there is accessibility and a place that you know it can grow. Locate it well. And then punctuality. In the city, punctuality is key because people are busy. You cannot walk into the church anytime you want as a pastor. If you think we are starting church at 8 o'clock, or even before, be there. If you are closing at 11, close. Yesterday I spoke a lot about that. But I just don't want you to rush through service. Please, let us have quality service and manage the time well. There was this pastor who felt that one of his presiding elders kept too long in church. And so he told me that on Sunday I'll go there and show him how to do church. And so after the church service on Sunday, I called him. Those days I was also a pastor. I said, so what happened? So I've taught them how to do church. Now we just finished. Hey, don't just go and finish. Now, make sure that people receive something before they go home. Quality word. Quality word. So, in the rural areas, please give me time, man. Yeah. Don't say go and sit down, go and sit down. I'm not going. If you tell me to sit down, I will not go. Now, let's have those of you on the second row. Please come. Those of you on the second row. Yeah. Shall we put our hands together for them? Typical Sunday morning in the rural church. All of you have testimonies. Come. And they all come and line up. What are you going to testify about? He says that I was going to the farm and then I heard something. Then I jumped. And by the grace of God, it was a snake. Then this one will come. Rabbit. And we are just wasting time over snakes. These are not testimonies. Snakes are in the rural areas. So if you saw one and you jumped, is it a testimony? But in the rural setting, we will let all of them tell their stories. By the time they finish, it is a waste of time. But in the urban setting, if you really want to give a testimony, write. Listen to the testimony. See if it will profit the congregation. So you call out names. Or don't be taking testimonies every Sunday because you don't have time. So shift your testimonies to a particular Sunday where you give a lot more people space. And then make sure that your sermon is sermonette. Now, if it is prayer meeting, give 1 hour to prayer. The sermon 15 minutes, and other things you manage within the 2 hours. But if you want to jam everything like you used to do when you were in Lonto and now you are in Accra Central and you are still doing it, you will destroy our church. Have I communicated? So your testimony is about what? You better sit down. He said, I was eating fufu, and then something pricked me. I said, hey, something has pricked me. He said, wow. Announcements. Appear to come. You are a big man. This is announcement time. He is a secretary. Please come and stand here. He is a local secretary. He comes and he is reading the announcement from pieces of paper. You see, the announcement book is tenable to court. Yeah. Don't read from pieces of paper, because one day the court may call for the announcement book. So don't be doing that. And once he's giving the announcement, passing, come. This is another elder. So you give your announcement. And then and then this one will come and whisper something into his ears. Then another elder will come and whisper something into his ear. After they've done all these reward things, then you go and sit down. Then the pastor will come and start the announcement all over. Yeah. All over. And then if God does not help us, and in that meeting the area head is there, you come, praise the Lord. Yes, did you hear the announcement? I think I have to do it well. Now the area head comes and the announcement alone takes about 1 hour. This is rural. Now if we keep doing these things in the city churches, we may be losing out on the future. So city churches calls for city leaders. So please, and then the seating arrangement. We can no longer be separating women from men in the city. What will be the explanation you are going to give to them? How many of you have sat in a classroom before? Classroom. If you have not sat in a classroom, don't worry. Where the women the girls at one side and the boys at one side. How many of you have sat in a passenger vehicle before? Where the women at one side, where the men at one side. Why do you do that in a city church? Why? Some of these things we have to change them, because the Holy Spirit will still work amongst us, but don't let us transport rural issues to the urban centers. And then, okay, let me end. The janitorials, what the pastor said, the toilets. Now, when you enter any toilet room or washroom in the city, you must know that this is a city. Sometimes, even myself, excuse my language, I went somewhere and I wanted to pass water. So they showed me where to go. And then when I opened the door, I had to backtrack. See, the stench. I said, and pastor, you took me there. Anyway, I can't blame him. Maybe he just came from, yeah. But and he's transporting that. Listen, when you are a pastor, be concerned about everything in the city. Everything in the city. If the people are sitting on plastic chairs and they are breaking, don't say, oh, as for plastic chairs, they have been breaking. Even when I was at Ascori, they were breaking. Change the plastic chairs. Give them seats that will fit city church. It is a losing proposition to be asked to function in the city with lay or professional leadership that wants the church to be the last bastion of rural values. I have attempted to underscore the importance of city ministry and how we should adapt to the challenges of the city to continue to stay relevant and effective in the coming years. As more and more people move into the city, it behoves on the church to continue to expand its vision, to meet the challenges of the city, to stay relevant and sustainable. Have I communicated? Fine. So I'll end here, but I'll keep pushing this agenda if God grants me the grace. And so what we are going to do moving forward is not to allow one pastor to pastor many churches in the city. No. Because we want quality service. Quality service. My local assembly, The English church is over 600. And I'm not exaggerating. When they meet, they can have about 600 people. So the English church alone is a big church. And then when you come to the local church, the Akan Assembly, they are over 2,000. On a typical good Sunday, they can have about 1,000 plus people coming to church. Now, 1,000 people for a minister should be enough. If you add the 600, it should be enough. There is no need to add another assembly. Because the more assemblies that we have in our hands as a pastor, we will be compromising on quality. Is that right? Fine. And then when we build the churches well, the big fishes will come out of the churches we have built. And people also want to contact pastors. Our elders do not also have the time. So if our churches are only going to be manned by elders and the pastor is seldom seen, we are not going to have an effective church moving forward. Our elders will support us. They will continue to do that. They are not saying they are tired. But when we reduce the number of assemblies, there will be much more effective supervision than a lot more of them, and then once in a while they see you. To be continued. Shall we rise to our feet?